Day to you. Another big conference game for us, obviously on the road, in a hard place to play in Arizona. I've been very impressed with them offensively, especially the quarterbacks. I know they've had multiple injuries to Solomon, Dawkins, and have watched all three quarterbacks play. The one thing that they do is they all are extremely good at running the football. You look at Dawkins averaging 7.7 yards a carry, extremely explosive, and then you look at Khalil Tate, who we know is almost like a running back there, who can throw, very physical runner, strong running style. So don't know exactly who's going to play. The good thing is that between the three quarterbacks, they are very, very similar for us. Running back wise, we'll see who's playing. Nick Wilson, we've known for a while, very strong back. We'll see if he plays for us. If not, we'll end up expecting to see Johnson or Holmes. A little bit different running styles there. Johnson, a slasher, and Holmes being a big, strong back. Been very impressed with the two wideouts, Griffey and Brown, also what they've done with the RPOs. I think Rich Rod does as good a job in the RPO game as anybody in the country. He's been doing it for a long time, and now is including some very fast tempo with it. Makes it very hard to defend. Defensively, this is a pressure football team first. They try to disguise coverages, pressures. They've made it hard on several quarterbacks, whether it's in our league or out. They will provide us a challenge both in protection and with the disguises that they bring. There's a lot of film study that I know Sam's going to have to do to get ready for this game because they do some really good hides. Was very sad to learn about Cody Ippolito's knee injury. Tremendous linebacker, has been really good in this league. Class act kid, and somebody we have the utmost respect for. I know he's going through a tough time with a third knee injury. Wishing him the best. Good football player. Injury-wise for us, we saw Lockett out here practicing. That the shoulder got a little bit better, so he was able to practice today. John Houston, we reported knee. He was able to practice today, which was good. Mike, we limited. Hutchings, we limited today a little bit. That shoulder is still sore, so Jordan Iosefa got a lot of work. We'll also be practicing Cam and Buddha there later in the week just for backup plan, but hoping Mike can get back. Jabari Ruffin cleared a concussion protocol, so he'll be back this week. Zach Banner, you saw out there today, got about half a practice. Looked like it went fairly well. Reported it went well, so hopefully we'll get him back. Justin Davis with the ankle. Right now, if I had to guess, probably not going to play in this game with that high ankle, but if something good happens, maybe good Lord to watch after us. But high ankle sprain with a running back's pretty hard. Hopefully we could maybe have him back for Cal. And then Taylor McNamara is really fighting through back skin a little bit better, but got a quad strain also, and he's fighting through that. He's got a hard time with that right now. So with that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
I'm sure there are several factors for it, but why do you think fewer freshmen have played or started in the past 2 seasons?
The depth is getting better. You look at us right now. We came into the city with 82 scholarships and a little bit of older team, especially at the skill positions. You usually see offensive linemen and defensive linemen have to grow up, but the skill positions are usually the positions that play faster. And right now you just have some older guys, especially when I think about the wideout position. You're looking at older guy in Juju and Darius and Isaac and Daquan, so it's allowing some guys to grow up and learn, which is a good thing. When we first got here and when the scholarships were depleted, we had to play who we had, and now some guys are getting to grow up a little bit. I think it's because of the depth of that.
Who are some of the guys that you think might have played in years past or might have been seeing a lot?
Oh, there's a ton of talent out here. All 5 wideouts really jump out to me right now. I think we've got a really bright future when you talk about Michael Pippen, Josh Mortabebe, Velus Jones, Trayvon Sidney, Tyler Vaughns. Gosh, that's a wideout core right there, just as freshman. And Michael's doing a great job for us right now on special teams. His physicality on special teams came out. I think about the other side of the ball with Jack Jones and Pi Young and Jamel Cook, if he's not injured. Those type of guys, skill guys. We're just very fortunate. We've been able to grow some older kids up and be able to hopefully mature some younger kids where they're not thrown in the fire right now.
With Sam, T and Tyson were talking about his ability to feel the pocket and kind of get a sense of where he is in the pocket, and that being something you either have or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you first got a sense that he did have that?
Yeah, it started over there in the service team. He's one of those service team legends that every day you hear, ooh, ah, and wow. And you watch the tape and go, wow, this kid's really got a knack for his pocket presence, and something that he's always had. He's got great vision, and I've said that. I don't know what it is about point guards in basketball, but I think of Cody, how he had good pocket presence. I think of Sam, and just being able to see the rush while still looking downfield. That's an important part of a quarterback's game.
Zach is healthy. Does he go right back as a starter, or how do you work?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go through the week, Dan, and see how he's going. Anytime that you have 2.5, 3 weeks off there's a conditioning factor also that comes into play. So I don't know if he's ready to play a full game. Obviously, if he's ready, he'll start, but we're expecting to have to use Chuma, possibly Jordan, and depending on how the tight end position plays out. You saw Chuma have to jump out of tight end some in that game also. So I would expect right now we'd be in rotation, but we'll see later in the week.
Didn't have any offensive penalties last week.
Yes, sir. That was a good thing.
What's the explanation?
I felt we got better in some areas, and obviously some other areas we have to address. Some penalties were one that got cleaned up, and obviously being able to, the turnover bug got us going from 0 turnovers to 4 turnovers. Obviously, we didn't improve, but the penalties did. We've got a hard challenge this week. I'll be honest with you. I watched the Utah game. The way Arizona stems and moves, and they created 8 false starts in one half. So we have to do a tremendous job this week of being disciplined and keeping discipline in that area. It helped us move the ball.
I think Utah mentioned that there might have been some calls being made on you. I mean, is that something you can?
Yeah, there's something that we've worked on. We've worked on from the noise to the stemming to giving verbal commands of trying to make people move. It's things you got to work on, and things that you got to train for all week. And it's something that we'll have to discipline. But very proud of the guys last week for improving the penalty side of things.
You guys haven't gotten a road victory yet. What do you think the reasons for those struggles are, and what do you have to do to turn that around this week?
Yeah, we've been really good at home, and we've got to really, we talked about it today in our team meeting, it takes a mental toughness to be on the road. And really, I felt like we've improved with each week on the road, and came up 16 seconds short at Utah. You have to go in there with a mindset. I remember teams in the past, going to some tough places. I remember in 2013, Oregon State came to mind, how tough a place that is with the buzzsaw. Going to Oregon, and Arizona is no different. When you go to the Pac-12 and you go to these electric stadiums, you have to bring your mental toughness for what's going on around you and not get caught up in the moment, and you got to bring your discipline with you, because you're not going to be able to hear. You're not the communication aspect of everything. So we've got to play a clean game and a non-turnover free game. That's what you do on the road, and hopefully, you bring your run game, you stop the run, you play great special teams, and you don't turn it over. That's usually equals a road win. We need one. This is a big game for us, and a huge game for us in conference.
Big is establishing the run game on the road against that crowd.
Yeah, definitely. I've always thought to take the pressure off a young quarterback, you have to be able to run the ball, and we've got a huge challenge. What a great opportunity for Rojo, for Ced Ware, for Dominic Davis, and there'll be some overcoaching on that offensive line this week. I can promise you, between myself and Coach Callaway, to really open up some holes for those young backs and take some pressure off a young quarterback.
What's been missing with Rojo through the first 6 games? Because the stats aren't the same, whether he's running the same or not. It just hasn't looked the same.
Yeah, you look at last game. I thought he started getting going a little bit. Scott, he averaged 5.6 yards a carry, off 11 touches. He made a good first down catch for us on a screen. He's getting there. I think putting him out in space helped last week on the option that you saw. He's dynamic when he's one-on-one with the safety. But between the tackles, I'm hoping the reps in the real live game action will be able to help him. But I think I truly think the kid's ready for a breakout game, and I hope it's this week. All righty.